Let's take a look at the chart for Ethereum. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. We're on the daily time frame right now, and we've been looking at this for a while, or at least in my last couple of videos. We have a falling wedge, something like this. We have resistance right here, support, and it looks like we're finding another support right here. I was basically using these two spots right here for a trend line, and it looks like we found a little bit of support. What I'm wondering is if can we hold support and we get a bounce up and then break through this trend line right here, then we can start targeting these previous resistance levels, ultimately targeting the top of the wedge. Or are we going to break to the bottom and have to start looking at previous support levels, or Fibonacci retracement levels? So yeah, I had a limit order set at 3,700, which is this orange line right here. We came down, hit that limit order, and then we got a little bounce, and it looks like we were staying in this area, but it looks like we're kind of a little bit below it right now. Right now we're sitting at 3,652. So yeah, I'm kind of curious. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame and see what else we can look at. We have resistance right here and resistance right here. It looks like we have a little trend line, maybe something like this we can look at. If we break this going to the upside, then we can start targeting this previous resistance level, or try to break out of this falling wedge. Or until then, I think we might be in doing something like this, kind of like with Bitcoin. This actually looks like we're kind of might be forming the bottom of a W pattern. If we could hold support right here and break up, it looks like this is a bottom right here, this is a bottom right here, kind of like a double bottom. If we do a trend line, something like this, what we would do is target from the top to the bottom of this W. If we could keep it going, let's say we could break this or continue, let's say we could move this going up. Let's say we could start moving up and head up to over here and complete this W pattern. What I would do is target from the top to the bottom of the W, drag this to the breakout, and we'd be looking at a target of around 3,921. But we haven't done that yet, and it does look like we're testing the bottom. And like I also said, I'm really looking at that falling wedge. So I mean, this would be the start to that, though. This would be, like I said, or in general, a W pattern is a reversal pattern. So this kind of makes sense being at the bottom of this downtrend like this. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. The other thing I was thinking is, like I was saying, if we break to the downside, because we haven't broke up yet, and if you look at the daily time frame, we're still underneath the daily 9 moving average. So, I mean, maybe we're going to be in this little W pattern for enough time for the 9 moving average to come down. But this 9 moving average is right here. It's way above us, right? We're way below it, should I say. And I don't know. I'd rather be above it if we're going to start getting bullish than being below it. If we're below it, I'm assuming that it might give us some resistance, and we might have to kind of test it a few times before we could break it. But that does make sense if it goes down like this, and then we have to like kind of test. I mean, we have to test this bottom support line. Maybe we could bounce off this bottom support line a few times, or bounce in between these two lines, break this 9 moving average, get a nice little move to the upside, then break this trend line going to the upside, then start trying to test these previous resistance levels. So yeah, I mean, let's just wait till we break this bottom support or break this up support, whether we're really moving up to these higher levels or to these lower levels. Right now, in my opinion, it looks like we're kind of trading in between these two trend lines. So yeah, like I said, I had a limit order. I got it filled at 3,700. Let's see what happens now. Let's see if we go down, and if we start breaking down, what I'll be looking at is this previous support right here. And the other thing I was looking at is, actually, let's delete everything. We have a trend line going to the upside. We have support, and then we have a trend line going to the upside like this. We broke this trend line going to the downside right here. So what I was doing after that is setting up a Fibonacci retracement from the bottom to the top. And these are also some levels that I've been watching. Let's go ahead and get rid of this one right here. But right now we are basically sitting at the 38% level. That's where I got that 3,700 target from, is this Fibonacci retracement level at the 38% level. The next one down is 50%, and this one is sitting at 3,200. Or actually 3,280, and then the 61% level is sitting around 2,900. And this one actually comes down with and aligns with this support. We came down, got a bounce right here, bounce support, got a bounce up. So I'm really looking at this. I'm kind of looking at this level down here. The bottom over here is sitting at around, what is it looking like? Maybe 2,750, something like that. So 2,750, 2,900 on the Fibonacci, just depends on where you look at it. But in general, I guess a couple things we could watch is we have resistance. Let's see, resistance, resistance, resistance. The first one I'm looking at is this one right here. If we could break this trend line going to the upside, then at least that's the start of the trend reversal, or starting to move to the upside, should I say. Bullish signal, I guess. And the other thing I was looking at is this falling wedge. Let's see if we can continue to hold between this falling wedge, and maybe we could get a breakout to the upside. A falling wedge actually is a bullish pattern. Usually it does break to the upside right here. We're falling in between these two lines. It's getting tighter and tighter, and then it finally breaks, usually to the upside, but it's still possible it breaks down, not guaranteed to break up or down. But that's why we watch the trend lines. Once we break a level, once we break one of the lines, then we know more, or then we could at least get more confident on which target we're kind of looking at. And I'm kind of showing you the top target and the bottom target, or at least the first targets, should I say. These are the first levels that I'll be watching. Or even these Fibonacci retracements are pretty good too. Sometimes we get volatility, like we came down right here, hit that 30% level, started bouncing up, came up here, came down, hit that 38% level, came up. Now we're hitting that 38% level. So yeah, that's why I like watching the Fibonacci retracement levels, because sometimes there's volatility and you can get bounces in between those levels. So yeah, let's keep an eye on this falling wedge here, and let's see if we can get a breakout to the upside or to the downside. Hopefully the upside, like I said, a falling wedge is a bullish pattern. So I don't know. Let's see. It looks pretty good for now. It looks like we held support still. What I didn't want to see us do is get a big red like daily candle and continue to head down with volume, or at least then I'd be looking at these levels. So yeah, in general, I'm not really worried even if we do start trending down. I guess what I would be worried if we broke this level right here, if we started getting a lower low than this one, because I've been talking about this on Bitcoin, but we have a low right here, a high right here, low, high, and then we don't know where the low is going to come in right now, or where we're going to get that bounce at. So let's kind of wait. But what I want to see us do is stay above this low right here, because if we get a lower low, then that's bearish signal, start of a downtrend. I don't know. It's just not a good, I don't think that'd be a good sign if we went lower than the previous low. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I think hopefully we can keep this support line right here, maybe fulfill this falling wedge pattern that it kind of looks like it's setting up. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. You guys think it looks like a falling wedge and we can hold support and break up? Let me know in the comments. Alright, if you guys liked the video, hit that thumbs up button, and if you're new to trading, check out this playlist right here, because it's an intro to TradingView, and it'll help you just get set up on how to follow along with videos and read charts. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.